So we are going to study principles of genetics evolutions, and the part one portion is basics of evolution. Let's learn about that. So we will be learning basic concepts that are not taught in most of the schools and colleges. So let's enhance the concepts first. It is always believed that evolution is changed through time, but is it true? Do species even change over time? Just think about that. You will get the answer at the end of this session. Once it was believed that all species were created at the same time and species never change over time, but the or decision, whatever you say, was changed later. Now comes the topic of Lamarckism. Jean-Baptiste Lamarck was the first to argue that species change over time, and he came up with a theory how change takes place. His theory is called Lamarckism, which is very less correct, but was believed through a long time, and later it was dismissed. So the Lamarckism is the based on the use and disuse of organs, which he thought were inheritable traits, but were actually not. We will see that later. Here's another important thing, that is Malthusian principle, that states all species have the potential to create far more offspring than there exist resources to support, and that is called the struggle of for existence, or you can say struggle of existence. I mean, they are creating far more offsprings, but there is not resource, so it's obvious that many of them will die. Now, there are two scientists who are important in this aspect. One is Charles Darwin, and Alfred Wallace is another one. So they were exceptionally good naturalists. They traveled around the world collecting and observing many plants and animals, especially uh, their most of the research was done on Galapagos and got successful exceptionally. So they independently came up with the theory of evolution, but Alfred Wallace was a little unlucky because his name is not remembered through the world. Here is a map of how they traveled, where they traveled, and their route through across the world. And here is the Galapagos Island mentioned. So you can check that. That is not huge aspect, and especially the Galapagos tortoise is a special thing that is not about our aspect. So what kind of variations can be there? There can be two types of variations. One is among individuals within a same population of a single species, and variation can also be among closely related species, like Darwin's finches, large ground finch, medium ground finch, small tree finch, and Warrior finch. You can check out this in some online research. So there comes another thing. So you can study these things, but the main aspect is that they came to knew that uh, there are certain traits that help an individual to survive in certain environments. Look, the environment word here is very important, because when we will go to adaptation or other things, if we change the environment, that is not valid. They later reasoned that not all offspring survive because competition for resources, and all these things were inspired by Malthusian principle. That is totally, I mean, 100% correct, you can say. So, in which individuals have beneficial traits, only they survive and reproduce faster rather than those with in non-inheritable beneficial traits or non-beneficial traits. So this is slide number 13. There is an example of how these things happen. So there is a black background which is abiotic selecting pressure. Now there is a bug population which have white, gray and black individuals. Now a bird eats those bugs, but the bird's vision is limited, so in the black background he can't see those black bugs clearly. So with time the bird keeps eating the white ones, so they survive less and the black ones survive more, they reproduce more and the population gets filled up with the black ones. That is told here with points. You can study that by pausing the video. So this is called evolution mediated by natural selection, which is a very important term. So we will come to natural selection in couple of slides later.